Hey, welcome into the Jeremyverse. Welcome back to Saturday morning fun time. I'm joined by Conric Cinderearth of the Changing Background, a deep and sordid tale of his upbringing. Today we aren't doing gameplay like normal. It would have been a day, but it's holidays. We're taking it off. Everybody gets a little burned out. So instead, I've asked John to join me, and we're going to work on the skeleton, the framework, the mythos of a dungeon. Uh, the story for this, the idea, you know, give background. I'm not the best DM, especially when it comes to planning. I've seen lots of people out there, they get a solid idea, they build on it, they add monsters and world and lore, they add geography, they add architecture, everything gets added in. It fits into their world. This is this a deep history of some ancient civilization or whatever, and they put gobs of thought and effort into it. I throw random ideas at a board and then pick one that I like. And this one happened to read something like an ancient tree that is hollowed out and inhabited by a beholder. That was it.
Interesting.
That was the idea. So here we have AI generated ancient tree. This thing is hundreds of feet tall. It's gigantic. It's in the middle of this vast forest. You know, it's exactly what you'd expect out of an ancient elven civilization. And so my ideas so far have been that. I've done a couple AI art to see, just ideas that popped in my head, what I wanted to see in it. And so this morning, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of walk through it. I kind of, how would I put it? It's like a hot dog. You start at one end, but then all the fillings start coming out, so you have to turn it around and go from the other end, right? So we have our topic, the ancient tree. I wrote this, the line is, its innermost parts riddled with passages and rooms as though worked through by enormous termites. It is ruled over by a ruthless beholder. We have our top. We're going to work our way around and get how does the party look at it? Why is somebody going to bother coming here? I don't care which party it is. It could be any party. Somebody in our Saturday campaign, somebody in our Metcalf campaign, whatever. And then we're going to do the fiddly bits in the middle. Like how, I can't see a party just going, well, I'm going to a tree that has nothing in it but a beholder. Because that sounds like Saturday for me. Fun. But, in the end, that's what it's essentially going to be.
You don't always need a MacGuffin to get the party into the tree.
You don't need a MacGuffin to get them in there, but you at least need something. There has to be some impetus for them to go in. Either like nobody can conquer that tree, oh well, we're going to conquer it, or only idiots go in there and I'll show you an idiot.
I was going to say, based off your first thing, where a DM puts untold amounts of time and effort and lore into a dungeon, only to then have the party never go to it.
Yes, I know that one. I'm also a fan of they put all the time and effort into it, and the party goes another route, and so they make a stupid plot hole where it's like the news article, man falls in rabbit hole, ends up in ancient catacombs. There you go. I mean, in our Metcalf game, we have an adventurer who keeps falling into holes, and lo and behold, this one might just end up in a giant hollowed out tree.
Yep.
Funny twist, maybe the tree's upside down and has grown into the earth, and you've fallen from the roots into the innermost parts. So I did an AI generation. I said the hollowed out insides of an ancient tree, a beholder floats above the throne, lording it over everything. And this is what it gave me. And I like to take ideas that aren't mine, because otherwise they're just my ideas. Like, it's boring. I like other people's input, and AI has the best input because I don't know if you see it, right? But here's your beholder worked into the woodwork, and I'm like, I wonder if like maybe this beholder has started to like put itself into the tree. Maybe it's
Integrate with
found.
its dungeon. Now it
Yes,
gets layer actions.
yes. And so it's more than just a beholder. Maybe it's like a druidic beholder. I don't know. I'm not the beholder. But I like the imagery of it where, it's like this portal inside. Maybe this leads to power. This leads to the dimension it came from. And it's been leaking through and like infiltrating this giant tree. Maybe this is why the elves gave up. They're like, you know what? The new neighbor is awful. We're just moving out.
I mean, gave up, became enslaved. Could be some of the enemies in the dungeon.
Devoured. Yeah. Some things I like. There's a little tree over here of some kind. I don't know what it is. And there's some sort of monster looking out. One thing I told it was the room was filled with traps to ensnare intruders, and the bodies of victims were everywhere. And I don't see either of those things. Imagine doesn't
from what I
always
can
give
tell with
everything.
AI, bodies might be considered too graphic.
It could be. It didn't yell at me. Usually it'll yell at me if it's inappropriate.
Well, sometimes they'll just omit it if it doesn't want to
Yes.
yell at you and still wants to generate something.
And that's fine because I still like the image it gave me. It gave us a couple other images. This one, I don't like it for the throne room, but I like it as an entrance. Maybe the bottom of the tree. Maybe it's like you get inside, you're like, oh, this is a cool elven city. And 3 stories up, all of a sudden, the only passage on is this doorway. It's like, oh, well, this seems certainly less fun than it did a minute ago.
Yeah, it might not be like on the exterior of the tree. There could be a little abandoned village or town. Wondering why it's abandoned, you make your way closer to the tree,
Ooh, I like
passing
it.
through some of the twists in the bark and the wood. You come across this. So even if you don't send them there for the dungeon itself, they could find it through natural exploration of why is this location abandoned? What happened here? And then you stumble across the dungeon.
Yeah. What if this isn't the entrance at the tree? What if as you're, exploring this abandoned village, you come across like the temple and you can feel a turning of it from something sacred and good to something sacred to evil. And inside is this
Desecrated.
doorway. Yeah, and you walk through it and bam, you're inside a tree. Oh, we're just gonna go back, turn around, solid tree. Only way forward is
Only way out
inside.
is forward.
No, only way forward is inside. I'm an idiot just like the party. I kind of like this. Ooh, I don't want to say yawning portal because that smacks of copyright.
Yeah.
The open
like
maw.
the 2 books that they have now.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Tales of the Yawning Portal.
The party beholds the open maw. I'm going to make it open maw. Open maw portal. There. The party is welcome to investigate an abandoned town. The party beholds the open maw portal. You weren't here like the last couple of times I've done it. But one thing me and Alex wanted to do was leave some of these videos as entrepreneurial DM. Somebody who wants to get started, like, I just don't understand how to do, can take my and our idiotic ramblings and do their own. Like, oh, that's how they do it. So I've been writing notes on this. So, it's kind of like a written description. The party is welcome to investigate an abandoned town. Yeah. These are better notes than I take for any of my actual campaigns. Within.
I've seen the size of your notebooks. It's hard to take decent notes in 2 by 3 inches.
Wow. I actually do write a lot in those 2 by 3 inches, but then like a squirrel burying acorns, I can't remember where I put them.
I mean, how many of you just dropped out of your pockets?
Dozens. Within an abandoned shrine, they sense good twisted into evil. Now, good twisted into a foreboding. No, forbidden.
A sense of foreboding.
A foreboding presence. You got to make it really nice and wordy, otherwise they don't think you're fantasy. Which I've recently started rereading the Elminster series, and everybody in those books talks fairly normal except for Elminster, who keeps using the word ye constantly.
Okay, you need to play Baldur's Gate because Elminster's in Baldur's Gate.
He has to be. He's Forgotten Realms. He's Mistra's chosen.
He talks just like the books, and he makes you feel stupid the entire time he's talking.
Oh my, I love it. I mean, he was told he's got to be ready to live 1,000 years. Why do I hear an airplane at 7:30 in the morning?
That's a good question.
That's a very low-flying plane. Helicopters, yes, because I live by a helipad. Airplanes, no, you can't land there. So the party beholds the open mouth. Yes. I would try. I'm dumb enough to try anything once. Party beholds the open maw portal.
I was also going to say, with how often our Paladin on our Wednesday games uses Divine Sense, I'm pretty sure he'd pick this portal up.
Oh, easily. Easily.
You get a sickening smell coming from the back of the shrine. How what now?
Remember when you eat all like that bad goblin food? That's how you feel right now, but only because of your smell, right? Stumbling through, they are teleported into the hollow remains of an ancient elven citadel. So actually, Elminster series made me think more about elves, because I don't like the high and mighty elven cities. I like the elves that kind of go out and have adventures, that kind of wander a little bit, exploring and enjoying the world. I can see them having cities, but I don't see them being inhabited like other civilizations tend to. They're not crowded cities. It happens to be a place where there's buildings that they can gather. Mm-hmm. You know, there's libraries there, there's temples there, there's museums. I think museums would be great. Elvish museums, they've had 1,000 years to collect odd samples, and now that their collection is complete, nobody can remember what they were collecting because everything's extinct.
That would be, if there wasn't a curator, people could wander in and be just absolutely lost.
Yes. You know, maybe that's where we go. Stumbling through the portal, they are teleported into the hollow remains of an ancient elven citadel. They find themselves in an abandoned museum. I cannot spell museum to save my life. Museum
it's a very difficult
filled
word.
With avant-garde elven artwork. I like it. Ooh, what have we found? This is their Banksy. Elven Banksy. That needs to be an AI-generated image. Where's our guy with Midjourney?
Not here. Do you think he's even awake right now?
He was 2 hours ago. And then I messaged,
that was 2 hours ago.
Oh, great AI. What do we get? Okay, not what I was expecting. Let's do another image. I guess I shouldn't be that surprised by this. Let's remove this. There we go. Behold, the hallowed art in the ancient Elvish city. Or this other one.
Why does it look like a splash of modern art where you just yeet a can of paint at a canvas?
I kind of like it. I kind of want a print of this in my house.
Wow.
The civilization went out because they were artistically bankrupt. And nobody really understood what was going on. They're like, what's with the negative spaces? Why? Did the artist stumble with his paint palette and just splorch it a little?
So we've got our entryway. We've got a way to draw the party in.
Yes.
Do we greet them immediately or let them explore a few rooms before throwing something at them?
I like throwing something stupid at them right away.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to be like an encounter like, ooh, we're fighting the beholder right away. But like something like the dungeon you guys just finished clearing. As you went in, there was a roaming group of was it bugbears? Half orcs?
It was
I think it was half orcs.
No, it wasn't orcs. I think it was either bugbears or why do I want to say something with an H?
Hobgoblins?
Maybe. I think it was bugbears.
Either way, they were trying to get out of that dungeon, but they kept getting lost because it was fairly circular. And they had been stuck. They were also idiots, and they were trying to get out. So, perhaps the first thing they find is as they explore the desiccated remains of Elvish culture, that's a delete. The remains of previous visitors rise up to greet them.
Yeah. Necromancy.
Including a lich.
Okay, we're going hard on the paint right off the bat.
Maybe he's a really crappy lich. Like, this is your D-grade apprentice who happened to just master enough magic that he could bind his soul to, what are they called?
Are you going to let his
phylactery
be in the first room, or is it going to be deeper in the dungeon to where he's now an annoying returning enemy?
It's this right here. This is his
his
phylactery. He was in life. It was a bard. He was a bard that was so inspired by this favorite artist that he just couldn't pass on to the other life. It sounds like the most dumbest idea, but I kind of like it because I'm not sure why, but every campaign IGM, everybody hates the bards forever.
I wonder why.
They write songs about you when you're not playing.
Uh-huh.
No, let's go back with just some undead. What's a good? I don't want zombies. I don't want skeletons. Maybe like some sort of like scavengers, some sort of
ghouls, ghasts.
Ghouls. Ghasts are pretty good. That's not what I wanted to open. Nope. Here we go. Monsters. Nope. Ghasts are nice. I do like a good ghast. Ooh. Ghoul Skulkers. Ghoul Skulkers, maybe a Ghoul Regent. Oh, that's way too high. Never mind. Scratch that. He knows too much. Are you ready for a CR19 in this random
In the very
dungeon?
first room?
Yes. I think Ghoul Skulkers would be nice. Medium Undead Catechy. Where's Monster Manual? To me. That's a gnoll. That's not a ghoul. Those are giants.
Well, that's a terrifying.
Why? I'm not finding them. What's terrifying?
Skin kite.
Skin kite.
It's a homebrew. CR1 half.
Why do I have Ghoul Skulker? What book is Ghoul Skulker in that I have? I wonder if that's in the Book of Beautiful Horrors.
A ghoul skulker?
Yeah. Not that one. No. Yes. Many consider ghouls to be scavengers feeding on old corpses and forgotten catacombs that no one cares about anymore. Some would even argue that they can be useful during epidemics. Blah, 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 blah. Master ambushers. That's always helpful. I'm going to guess that those are out of The Witcher.
Probably.
Just a hunch. Ooh, a crypt horror. Possessed by demons. Feeding it with demon flesh to mutate it into a crypt horror. But in this case, they've been feeding on bad artwork and oeuvre.
That could be fun. Instead of just a normal beholder at the end, if you're having it become melded with the tree, you could change it to its body has become melded in one with the tree, so now it is a death tyrant.
Ooh.
So the
Maybe.
flesh and body stays there, but the skull and magic and necrotic energy pulls free.
Make
as
it
a
a
final boss.
two-stage. The two-stage boss.
That would be a brutal two-stage boss. A normal
Put a pin in
beholder,
it.
then a death tyrant.
Put a pin in it. I'm putting a crypt horror in the beginning here. We're going to start off with a CR11.
I mean, if we're going that high already, a CR13 as the final boss, because that's what a death tyrant is.
If we leave it at a CR13. But we're sickos, right? It's melded in with the tree. And so all around the room, buds grow, and each bud is a one-time use I-beam. Make it a layer action to do that. And then eventually it bursts out as like the flaming skull and really jack up its stats. Ooh, the crypt horror is immune to turning effects. It only does 2d8 plus 6 slashing damage with a plus 10 to hit. And you have to make a 13 con save to not be paralyzed for a whole minute. That is a fantastic.
First enemy.
Yes. So throw up like a ghoul with like a couple like this crypt horror with maybe a couple gas or ghouls with it. Crypt horror. Book of Beautiful Things. Book of Beautiful Horrors. I'd say things, it's horrors. Ooh. They ambush the party. They don't surround them. I mean, they do, but realistically, they're ambushing. I like it. And of course, they have to exit through the gift shop into the main.
Through the gift shop.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to play. Every DM and player loves a good pun or a bad one. Which one's better, bad or good?
Yes.
Thank you. Defeating their foes.
Defeating.
Well, you know, I have fat fingers. Defeating their foes, the party is free to explore the rooms and exit through the gift shop. I don't like to plan every room on the way up. I have a nice entrance. I like that. And then I'd like to do some kind of random size. I have pictures of kind of how I see the room layouts. I like how I clicked remove, but it didn't remove. Room layouts, kind of termite style, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like eating through the rooms. They go up, they go down. You don't get. It's not always straightforward. You know, maybe you have to go up 3 floors, down 2, and then you can keep going up. So I kind of see it meandering.
So if we've got a beholder at the very end,
Uh-huh.
and then we rip it into a death tyrant, and then we've got this undead creature at the beginning, are we having a sort of theme of a necrotic theme for this dungeon?
We don't have to, but
I was going to say it could be that these creatures' presence is rotting the tree from the inside out.
You know, I kind of like that, but I see a battle. A power play kind of battle. You know, maybe it's not like an active armies fighting, but this undead necrosis is festering within this ancient sea. It's alive with magic. It's alive with history, with past, with whatever elvish stuff. So the
Elvish
tree
/ druidic.
Right. So the tree is fighting off this necrosis, this intruder. It senses that, you know, it's not everywhere, but they go through the tree one way or the other. And so maybe plant-based enemies, ambushers, are riddled throughout. So instead of doing instead of doing tramps, the party is here. Instead of doing traps within the dungeon, we throw in like ambushers. Spiders or something, you know.
Doesn't have to be plants too. It could be fungal.
No, I want plants. I have plans for mushrooms.
It could be both.
I have plans for mushrooms. Oh, dang it! I left my book in the other room.
Well,
I think the one idea I had was a giant cavern riddled with spiders.
Insert kill it with fire joke here.
Yes. Party winds its way through a termite maze of passages, fighting off Encounters of corrupted death. And animated nature. Oh, and the animated now. And the trees immune response. No, I don't like that. That sounds dumb. And the trees organic response to repel the corrupted invasion. Tumors. A corrupted and corrupting presences. There. Let's see. Who covers this? Volo. I hate reading off titles for these books as though like the person's actually there doing something. There we go. It is Beholders. It is Volo's Guide. I think we should throw in a couple rando Beholders. Like it's summoned minions
beholders.
It's summoned it's created lesser beholders, which is possible. And it's sent them into the dungeons.
I'm gonna say we've got other insects too besides just spiders you could throw in.
Yes. There's some disgustingly wonderful ones. Yes, a beholder hive. Perhaps we are in a beholder hive.
That sounds awful.
In exceedingly rare cases, a beholder might experience a dream in which it sees itself in a mirror or encounters several copies of itself, or imagines and sensate. Do you know how beholders are created?
No.
Basically, they dream themselves into existence.
That is awful.
Yes. Birth of beholder. Beholders can produce others of their own kind, but the process has nothing to do with biology and everything to do with psychology. When it sleeps, its body goes briefly dormant, but its mind never stops working. The creature is fully aware, even though blah, blah, blah. Sometimes the beholder's dreams are dominated by images of itself or of other beholders. On rare occasions, the beholder dreams of another beholder. The act creates a warp in reality from which a new, fully formed beholder springs forth unbidden, seemingly having appeared out of thin air in a nearby space. So this beholder at the top of the tree has been dreaming of expanding its branches, of growing out, and is creating smaller versions of itself throughout this tree, which the tree is trying to fight off, right? Because this is a corruption, or maybe it's some ancient magic by the elves is trying to assist the tree before
awful.
They noped right out of there. At such a time, the beholder's dream birthing creates a beholder hive, a group of newborns that are identical to its own shape but smaller. They have a hive intelligence. Their personalities and goals are so similar that they can predict and assume each other's behavior. Yes. Put some rando ones throughout this tree. Or going with the sleeping, Beholders actually can create more beholder versions. Chapter 3, the bestiary. This is really far back in the book. So they can create various other versions. A Gauth. No, I don't like that one. A Death Kiss. Death Kiss is a lesser beholder that might come into being when a beholder is a vivid nightmare about losing blood. Instead of magical eye rays, it has long tentacles, each ending in a mouthful of teeth. Yes.
I'll
I
pass.
like it. Of the classic internet. Myriad of beings infesting this structure. The party finds themselves in the heart of a beholder hive. Smaller duplicates and variations of the prime beholder move through its passages as though blood in the vein. I don't know why I hit enter. Nobody else can see this but me. These include death kisses. Because I just read them. Ooh, gazers. Its body is only 8 inches wide. It has 4 eye stalks. It follows its creator like a devoted, aggressive puppy, and sometimes small packs of these creatures patrol their master's lair for vermin to kill and lone creatures to harass. Yeah. Gazer has CR 1/2. But it can mimic simple sounds of speech it has heard in any language. A creature that hears the sounds can tell their imitations with a successful DC 10 wisdom check. It has a dazing ray, a fear ray, a frost ray, and a telekinetic ray. Death kisses, gazers. I think that's enough. Surviving the travails of this journey. The haggard heroes find themselves in the twisted throne room of a nasty bitch.
Of a nasty bitch.
The nasty beholder. His form melding with the very tree they are within. They are, let's see, accosted with danger on every side. I do like making it's part of a tree, right? It's not a true beholder anymore. It is totally corrupted because, they're unnatural. So it's been corrupted by nature, tries to mimic nature. Maybe it's not actually a part of the tree. Maybe it's trying to mimic the tree so much that there's like a tree inside the tree, and that's where we're at. Like it has surrounded this room with its own wooden structure. The we need to run this dungeon with the Metcalf adventurers, but not tell anybody out of this. And they could literally know all the secrets of the dungeon if they just listen to this one video.
Yeah.
But they never will.
They won't know what's coming.
It's abhorrent form. For fresh grown buds to be one-time use eye beams. Eye stalks? Eye stalks. They're literally eye stalks. Plant themes. Yes, this is coming together.
Plant, insect, bug.
On facing the room.
Undead.
Yeah. Dangers within. And dealing significant damage. Damage to the prime's body. It expels its skeleton. It expels its innermost parts. Pieces. Revealing a death tyrant. For the party to enjoy.
To enjoy, as if they have a choice.
Yes. For the party to survive. Survive's a good word. I like how I closed the book on the Death Tyrant, even though I was going to need that a moment later. They have stats for Death Tyrant. Probably somewhere. Called Bunk. I need more nastier creatures, Wizards of the Coast. You leave me wanting.
Oh, lovely.
What?
Death Tyrant has natural layer actions.
Where does it show up? Is it in the monster manual?
I'm trying to look it up right now.
I think it might actually be bona fide monster manual. Names? No, I don't want that. Bugbears? No. Death Knight? No.
Yep, it's in the monster manual source.
Beholder, Death Tyrant. Womp, womp, womp. CR14, that's not enough. These conjoined twins, and both skulls burst forth. Wouldn't that be jacked up? You're fighting one of them, and it turns around, and there's another skull on the backside with 4 little eyes poking out.
You trying to make us feel bad for it?
No, wouldn't you be horrified by the
Seeing as how
disgusting
it has
things?
10 natural death rays
Yeah.
or eye rays, one of them being the death ray.
And it shoots 3 of the following magical eye rays at random. It only shoots 3 of them. So
3
if
of
you
the
do,
10
yes,
at random, which means you roll a d10 to see what it shoots.
there's saves. It's a 17.
Yeah, that's a big freaking save.
I
You
like it.
can see within 120 feet.
Sounds about the circumference of this room.
Yeah, perfect. He can get everybody. Look at his
Yes.
lair actions if he's in a lair.
But I draw your attention to the pillars. You could hide behind pillars. There's a giant structure in the middle of the room where he sits atop.
Uh-huh.
And
Look
now
at
he's
the
mobile.
lair action.
Look, two floors layer actions or legendary actions.
Lair actions.
A death tyrant's lair. Wow, I should just turn the page. An area that is 50-foot cube within 120 feet of the tyrant is filled with spectral eyes and tentacles. To creatures other than Death Tyrant, that area is lightly obscured and difficult terrain until initiative count 20 on the next round. Walls sprout spectral appendages until initiative count 20 on the next round after. Any creature, including one on the ethereal plane, that is hostile to the tyrant and starts its turn within 10 feet of a wall must succeed on a DC 17 Dex saving throw or be grappled. That would fit in really good with our tree tyrant.
Mm-hmm.
We
Last
gotta
one.
call him a tree tyrant. Hang on.
Look at the last one, though.
A spectral eye opens in the air at a point within 50 feet of the tyrant. One random eye ray of the tyrant shoots from that eye, which is considered to be an ethereal source, at a target of the tyrant's choice. The eye then closes and disappears.
Perfect for your 1-round eye stalks.
I love it. I love it. Look how good we are. Regional effects, which would make sense with the tree. You know, I'm going to say that I read this book and was influenced by it.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, I've never opened this book in my life.
Oh my, that last regional effect is disgusting.
This is subjected to one random eye ray of the tyrant.
So
However,
you'd have to be aware of its presence.
yes, which once you encounter all the little ones throughout,
You'd be
maybe.
aware that there's something of that
Yes.
nature in the
Yes.
dungeon, which then the DM could rule, well, every time you guys take a long rest, give me a check. Wouldn't that just be something? Finish your long rest, get ready to go at the dungeon again, instantly hit with the death ray. 10d10 necrotic to start your go. Have fun. Hope you brought
Yep.
potions.
Um, how about if it gets hit with a disintegration ray and all of a sudden the party just doesn't know that there was somebody there? Wasn't there somebody sleeping over here? Poof. They're gone. Succeed or take 10d8 force damage. If this damage reduces the creature to 0 hit points, its body becomes a pile of fine gray dust. And I will point out in the meme, it doesn't say you're dead. You're just at 0 hit points is a fine gray dust.
Whereas the death ray says you die.
Yes. If the target is huge or larger, the ray disintegrates a 10-foot cube of it.
Oh, God. So there's just a chunk of your body missing.
If you're huge or larger, which none of you are. Large or smaller, non-magical object or creation of magical force, it is disintegrated without a saving throw. Oh, it doesn't even have to target you guys. It could target objects. Except for on the regional effect, which is a target to you.
Right. okay, let's just target the floor we're standing on, drop you down a couple levels.
Don't give them ideas on how to succeed.
Anything I say around you makes its way into a book one way or another.
It really does. Some of the things I say are just, I write in there just spectacularly dumb. Not a nasty beholder, but a tree beholder. Oh, I do not want insert. Why is it doing that? It's almost like the buttons on my keyboard do something. All right. So, a death tyrant for the party to survive. Defeat, survive, and defeat. But he doesn't have any feet.
How does he get around? He just floats.
So, there's got to be something at the end. What the hell is that? Oh,
some kind of reward justification, like, hey, good job, you did it.
I see that too, but I see this tyrant has destroyed this tree. It's corrupted it. I kind of see it reverting back to what it used to be. Like life starts to come back into it. Passages open to the outside world. Because, right, a tyrant's main thing is it's afraid of being killed. It doesn't want to die. It doesn't want to be killed. So it's walled off this tree so nothing else can get in there to kill it. And for some stupid reason, it created this open maw portal for I don't know what. Maybe a malign entity created the portal to put the tyrant in there and then just waltzed off. Like, deal with this, you stupid elves. Maybe instead of a village. Why is it showing me both?
Because you clicked on both.
That's dumb. Why am I dumb? Is that a nun? I can zoom in, but I can't enhance. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be a nun.
I have no idea.
I think we have to retcon our abandoned village. I think we need to do ancient
abandoned
ruins.
Doesn't mean there's no one.
No, I mean ancient ruins. Like, why would this portal be there? Why would somebody have done something? Perhaps the ancient ruins are like, this is what was around the tree as a thriving civilization. Ooh, you know what? Maybe you're right. Investigate ancient ruins. Oh, wow. Ancient ruins near a quaint woodland town, which is plagued by fell presences.
Feel as if they're being watched.
Yeah, ooh. In brackets, they feel as though they are being watched. Period and bracket. That's too many periods. Put as many eye jokes as possible leading up to you behold a small town as people look to be gazing about as in constant fear as though something is watching them, as all eyes seem to be
on the newcomers.
Yeah. All right. Let's see.
And I feel as if some of the seasoned players will instantly, hopefully, pick up on these keywords and go, "Oh, great!"
I'm gonna put these in as like liners.
Zingers for the DM.
Yes. Luckily, he can read better than I can type. Party beholds a small town. All eyes seem to be on the newcomers. Keeping watch. Keeping watch, the villagers respond with, crap, I lost the word. Uh-oh. Keeping watch, the villagers respond with, obvious. No. The villagers are obviously damn, I lost it.
Eyeing them suspiciously.
I am suspiciously. That one. Couple zingers.
These are terrible.
Yes. Hang on. Well, we're going to go to wonderful AI for ChatGPT 3.5.
Uh-oh.
Oh. I'm creating a dungeon that is dominated by an eye tyrant. I need bad eye puns and barely veiled sight gags to tell to my players. Absolutely. Eye puns and sight-related jokes can add fun touch to encounters with an eye tyrant. Watch your step, or this place might eye your every move.
Oh, no.
Don't turn a blind eye to the treasure. It's right before your iris.
Oh,
I've got my eye on
God.
you, but no need to cornea. These are wonderfully terrible. Better keep a sharp eye out for traps, or things can go retina splatteringly wrong.
What is that?
This dungeon has an eye for detail, so be prepared to see everything. Try not to be too corneally confused, or you might end up lashing out.
Oh, no.
The path ahead might seem pupillating, but let's focus and move on. Let's see if we can lend a hand in this dungeon before the tyrant makes an optic of us. Oh.
What did I just bear witness to?
These are so wonderfully horrid.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, ChatGPT. Put those in there. Oh, it's been helping me a lot with some campaigns lately, so I think it's really starting to get me down. I'm training it for horror. I will text it. Are you familiar with this concept of a monster? And it's like, oh yes, here's the description. Like, yes, we're in it now. Yeah. In fact, this Wednesday you will get some of its wonderful revelations. It's gonna be
Lovely.
great. Yes. This is good. So we need to let's see. Oh, what happened? Why am I getting? Oh, that looks like spam. A friend of yours has messaged you something, and like it comes up as weird text. It's like, oh, that's bad. Especially since it's someone who passed away several years ago.
Oh.
His wife still uses his account, which is why I keep it on there. But it's like, oh. Ugh. Upon their victory, the tree breathes in its newfound freedom. Doorways and windows open to the outside world, allowing the party new egress to escape. What kind of magical things should we put in here? Specifics or randos?
I mean, you could do one or two specifics. I wouldn't do too many, and then just random of a certain tier. Because you did just have the party face a CR 11 to start, and then a CR 15 to end it. So these are pretty decent monsters. The party should be
Yes.
decent size level at this point to conquer this dungeon. So I wouldn't put it outside the realm of having a few wondrous, if not rare, very rare items. Not sure we should be pushing into the realm of legendary quite yet.
Oh God, no. But you know what? One of our players is looking for a legendary item, and he has asked that we put in clues to where it could be. He's assuming it'd be a journey, for an end item or a late game item. So perhaps they'll find
Clue for it.
writings or clues for a legendary item.
When does the Dungeon Master's Guide say is a good starting point to start dropping legendaries? I know it's in the teens somewhere.
Types of treasure. 33. Magic item tables. I wonder if it says it in the PHP instead of the Dungeon Masters. Sentient magic items. Artifacts. Doesn't say.
So from what I'm seeing, 11th and higher should be very rare or wondrous, and then 17th and higher is when you should be expecting legendaries.
Yeah.
Which seems pretty high considering some legendaries or classified legendary weapons have powerful abilities, but nothing severely game-breaking.
Yeah. Let's not use the oddities. Here's common and uncommon magical oddities, as well as the opportunity to find some more powerful magics, because some asshole has detect magic. The dungeon is going to be so large, it's infeasible to go back through the whole thing and research it. Also, it caught on fire. Now you can't go back.
But it just got new life. How could it catch on fire and burn to the ground?
It was a
Besides, a
conflict of.
magical item would survive the fire.
It would. It's a magical fire of
Oh, yeah.
tremendous power.
Tarrasque stomach.
A sundering. Yep. Somebody put a bag of holding inside a hole in the wall. What is it? The portable hole?
Oh, God.
I'm just going to put these things I found inside this other bag I just found. And
Rip open a wormhole to the astral plane real quick.
But then again, detecting magic doesn't mean you can always get whatever it was. It could be a magical device hiding something that you can't quite figure out, or it's a barrier that you can't get through. So I'm trying to find some more powerful items and clues and hints to some things extraordinary.
I would say very rare wouldn't be off the table for a reward item for this dungeon, considering if you're facing
Yes.
teen rating CRs, you're probably above level 10.
Some rare items, as well as the opportunity to find some more powerful items and clues and hints to some things extraordinary. Maybe they will be allowed to level.
Maybe.
What? Maybe they leveled right before they went in and they never learned enough lessons to level again.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, that definitely wasn't enough EXP.
Yes. Clearly.
I mean, we haven't done any of the core, what kind of other creatures could be inside, what groups, what
That's true.
beings.
One of the
Like you said,
descriptions I
this
put
is
in was a
just one
hollowed
end and
out
the other.
tree. Yeah. This was its response to a hollowed out tree. It's like, here, have this. Like, wow, that's a terrifying liminal space.
Yeah.
At one point in time, the resolution was just enough that it actually felt like it was slowly spiraling.
That's awful.
Yes. Is that what I want? Stop that.
You gonna make us have con saves for claustrophobia?
As players, not as characters.
See, thankfully I'm not claustrophobic, so.
Exit full screen.
I think I might still have pictures on this phone of the space we have to work in on the cabin.
Mm-hmm.
And I took pictures and showed a few friends and coworkers, and they're like, "How big's that entrance?" And I'm like, 1.5 feet tall by 3 feet wide. It's a rectangle that you have to crawl into to get under the bathroom to work on the plumbing. They're
That
like,
sounds
"Okay,
fantastic.
how far back does it go?" About 4 feet. The best part is there is a piece of 1/2 inch particle board that you're laying on top of.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing keeping you from falling into a 5 foot deep hole where the septic pump is.
Gross.
And you are surrounded on all sides by fiberglass insulation and spider webs. And it's hard to determine which is which. And just the spider webs got people like, you couldn't pay me enough money to crawl in there and work on that plumbing.
Right. Turns into a cranberry farm. I would climb up that stupid tall tower to change light bulbs, but I don't think I could handle the spiders.
Oh, but they're your best coworkers.
I
You
love the
have to be
spiders.
very. I love that. Was it a video or a picture where it's like you have to be very comfortable and very calm when working in cranberry during picking season because you will become a spider nest because they will try to get out of the water and they will instantly go towards the tallest thing. You are the tallest thing.
I wonder if you could do like artificial structures
In the
throughout there.
cranberry patch.
Yeah. Like
Maybe, but you still have to have that human element, and the
oh
problem is
yeah.
if the human element is closer than the structure, what
Yes.
are they going to go for? They're going to go for the human element. And if the human element's not okay with spiders,
I'm trying to figure out this last pun. Let's see if we can lends a hand. All right, lens. All right, it's like saying meow. Lends a hand to this dungeon before the eye tyrant makes an optic for us. How was ChatGPT using optic? Was it like making a scene? Was it making? I don't know. That's odd. That's gonna bother me. It's gonna be one of those ones at work where somebody goes, "What you thinking about?" Oh, I was just thinking about how an eye tyrant makes an optic for you. Is it a visual guide? It's like the question I have for safety committee. All the rooms, the labels are in Braille, but none of the warning signs are.
uh, I would say it's the eye tyrant makes a move or a beeline or some sort of aggressive type maneuver towards the party. And it could always be one of the eye tyrant's optical lasers.
Yes. You're walking through the village and all of a sudden somebody just gets disintegrated. What?
Oh, he took a
What
long
was
rest.
that? Wait, did it say how far away that was?
1 mile.
Yeah, they're well within. Well, it is a big tree. Maybe the village is far enough away from the tree to be fairly safe, but just close enough to feel uneasy about it.
You wouldn't know exactly what it was because they haven't gone in the tree, but so you
Right.
wouldn't get the optical laser, but you could still feel like you're being
Yeah.
watched.
Like, nobody has an issue with the woods unless you camp out. Or I'm going to make these puns part of a local dialect, like their the way they talk.
Joy.
Yes. Oh, let's see. I've got my eye on you, but don't need to be corny, eh? Corny, huh? Hey, don't be lashing out, newcomers.
Oh, God.
Yes. Look, we haven't played in a couple weeks.
If we do this on the Wednesday campaign, this is going to hurt hearing these and trying to bite my tongue because I'll know what's coming.
And the best part is I'm going to say as many as I can, as fast as I can, knowing that you can't respond.
It's awful.
Yes.
Terrible.
Yes.
Terrible. So terrible.
I was wondering if the paladin casts protection from good and evil, and they're being attacked by something good that's defending itself. What would that look like?
Well, here's the conundrum. Why would the party be attacking something that is good aligned?
That's a valid question. Why would
Something
the
would have
party
had
be
to
doing
provoked
this?
us to have attacked it.
Would they?
Yeah, because even the creatures that have shown us hostility, we've offered them amends before just going, all right, if you want violence, you'll get violence.
Yeah, that is true.
And we've stopped combat when the opponent has shown that they did not mean truly lethal or nefarious intentions.
I have found. That's not what I wanted to click on.
What have you found? Something awful?
Yes, but it's AI thing. It tends to have this weird fetish with liminal spaces that, like,
Very restrictive spaces.
yeah, like, oh, why are these all these random circly doodahs forming? Here we go. Like, oh, that's not. Anybody want to go look through the window?
No.
Go down this hallway?
No.
I found the door, guys, but I'm not sure we should go through it. It looks like it's been shedding itself like skin on a snake.
Yeah, just bet.
Also, I didn't want those. I wanted this. This is what it gave me for a dragon skeleton. I don't know why it's wearing armor, except for the spine is out. Same thing with this one. But I really like this dragon head.
Yeah.
That is pretty awesome. I don't know. I might see what it's going to cost to get this made into an actual printing somewhere.
Oh my lord.
It's going to be up in my garage in January. Oh, put it in the bathroom behind the door. Oh, look, this is a perfectly normal bathroom. Close the door.
Go to disc plate, make it in metal.
Oh, that'd be sweet. Yeah. Too expensive. I'll probably use Walgreens. Because you can actually get some fairly good printings on like canvas for a decent price. I just don't want it printed with Created with Imagine on it. Like, I get why it's there. I just don't want it. If I have to pay to get it removed, I might. Oh, there aren't quite finished touches on this. It's like I said, it's still got to be, there's a map you got to create, a path we have to do. I might go and find like
trap ideas to throw in.
I was kind of thinking about eschewing traps themselves this time and just letting the encounters be the traps. Like, oh yeah, you see a door, and all of a sudden, oh wait, the wall next to it's actually a trap spider that's like lunging out and grabbing people. Or, oh wow, look, this weird hallway filled with trees, but really they're awakened trees. Go ahead, set it on fire while you're inside the big tree.
Don't tempt me.
That'll be a tough one, fighting a bunch of undead in a wooden environment.
We still have radiant damage. We'll be fine.
I don't think you've really done fire damage to anything undead yet. Maybe once.
I've gotten them to low, and then I was planning on using it to keep them dead.
Yeah.
And then they were just like, well, they're already dead.
Yep, dead enough. Then the one time I decided to use their healing ability, you guys killed them outright anyways. So there's that.
Yep.
I see this as being a low monetary yield dungeon, more of an item dungeon.
Oh yeah, I can see it being more of an item dungeon, especially because instead of being sentient beings inhabiting it, it's more undead or insect-like.
Yeah. The real treasure was the artwork at the bottom.
I'll be sure to burn that first.
Yes. You know, you guys are getting that live. Be like, yeah, we're not taking this. And like campaigns later, be like, have you guys ever seen the art by Elfsky? Any of his, emo girl on a white and yellow background? Because that sells for like 800 platinum pieces. Like, oh.
Where was that tree again?
The one we burned down? Shoot. I have done that to previous campaigns on people. Whoa.
Alrighty, I might have to call it. I've got some
That's what I was
shopping
going
and
to
stuff
say.
I need to do.
Any final thoughts to leave us with?
Not really. We've got the start going. We've got the end boss.
Yeah.
Good base idea for reward loot at the end. Now just fill in the middle with whatever you want.
I know. You have to figure out some good elvish items to put in there. Or maybe
You
some
could theme a lot of the base magical items around being elvish in nature.
Yeah, I think
Elvish style swords or armors, cloak of the elven kind, boots of the elven kind.
Wooden armor, but like really good wooden armor. Some unicorn skeletons because you found their stable, but they left their rides.
Wow, that's just awful.
Look, mommy, it's a unicorn. Oh, it's just like the skull with a horn sticking out. Although I do really like, maybe that should go in there. The concept that the horn is actually a parasite, and that's how it gets from creature to creature. Is the unicorn rams into it, and it gets a new host, and then feasts on that host, and when it needs a new one, rams it in like those the snails that get it, or the slugs that their eyes go all wonky. But it's usually just a unicorn. Like, oh wow, it's so beautiful, but it's a parasite tricking you.
That's disturbing.
That could be a good room. Yeah, you find some unicorn skeletons, and you're drawn to the horn. Or it's a bunch of horses, but you're drawn to one unicorn in the corner. And suddenly you have a turtle with a unicorn horn.
Oh, dear God.
Yes. Make him get rid of all of his character information. He's now a parasite-infected body, and he has to play as the parasite. I think the only way to get out of it would be greater restoration. What level does that get learned in?
Later.
Oh, that sucks. That sucks. Well,
it might be at the point when the party's at that level.
I'm not even going to look it up right now. That's far enough up there. But if you're still watching, thank you for watching this. Here's another view again of the wonderful tree that at some point in time, some poor bastard's going to have to climb up into to find a beholder. Look, you can see it looking at you in the middle there. That's the sun twinkling in its eye. We're going to thank Imagine Art Generator and ChatGPT for some wonderfully horrid things. And I do mean that sincerely. Thank you for those. Enjoy us. John, thank you for your time. Eventually, other people will show back up with us. We've talked about moving our time, so if you watch us every Saturday morning, you may not watch us every Saturday morning anymore. So Till then, we will catch you later, and I've been Ed.